Good morning, class. Let us start off with a brand new chapter. So, again, one of the most important functions of management, which is directing. So, to begin with, what does direction mean? So, it means to ensure that all the employees they are working towards one particular, say, goal. So, organizations have different goals, right? So, in order to make sure that they all combine together to make or say to create or to achieve that organizational goal, all the activities done by the employees or the say the managers all together, it has to be mobilized in such a way that it's all towards one particular goal. It's to achieve one particular goal. So that is actually what you mean by directing. So it includes a lot of say instructing the employees or say subordinates or guiding them, giving them a lot of counseling advices, then leading and motivating them to achieve what they have to do or complete their tasks in such a way that the organization can achieve their goal. So what are the different features of say directing? So or how does directing help an organization? So it initiates action. So what do you mean by initiating action? So it makes things happen. That is what it basically means. So when there is proper planning and organizing and staffing, okay, we have people to do work to do around, and the plan is set, and we have all the activities set out for each and every person, right? So the next function is to give them proper guidance on what should be done and how each thing has to be done. So that is what you mean by initiating action. The proper action or the proper task has to be guided to, or say advised or instructed to the people who will be carrying out these activities. So that's the reason why it's called that is why it says that it initiates action. So the next important thing is it takes place at every level. So direction is one kind of function, something similar to coordination. It's like it is required at every level. So each person will have to guide their subordinates for doing each and every work. So now we know that in all companies or at all levels there is a superior subordinate relationship. So in order to keep that relationship proper and to ensure that, or so the superior in order to ensure that the subordinates are doing their work accurately and with maximum efficiency, direction is a very important function. Each and every manager will have to guide or say command his employee to get his work done, else the manager becomes responsible and he in turn won't be able to complete his task on time. Then direction, again, it's a continuous process, so it's self-explanatory. It's an ongoing function. It happens like every single time. Like whenever there is a new task coming up, it requires a maybe or may not. It may be recurring, it may not be recurring. So say if it is not recurring, people need guidances, right? So again, it is a continuous process and it flows from top to bottom. There is a hierarchy in direction. So we know that instructions always follow from top to bottom, right? So it's like we teachers, we instruct you what to do to students, right? So similarly, there is a hierarchy followed in direction, and it deals with people. So it's majorly how an enterprise attains its objectives with the help of its employees. So it's like there is a relationship with direction and people. So why is it such an important task? It helps in bringing out the maximum in individuals. So when you are able to properly guide employees, they are able to do their work properly, and there is a stability and what do you call that, balance in the organization on how they function. There is a proper timely or say accuracy in attaining the tasks on time, and in turn helping the organization to achieve their goals. Then the next topic is principles of directing. So there are some principles that is being followed followed under direction. So what are the principles of direction or directing? So it is the first one being maximum individual contribution. Now according to this function, um, direction involves in motivating people or motivating employees to be more accurate, right? Once the workers are motivated to work, they know what kind of skills and talents they have. So it helps them to use these capabilities or say skills in order to in their maximum efficiency for the organization. And again, it helps in realizing the organizational objectives, in turn giving them a sense of achievement, right? So in order to motivate people, what does an organization do? They provide different sets of say financial and non-financial incentives, which again we will be discussing later. So this is what they mean by saying maximum individual contribution. Then harmony of objectives. So talking about harmony of objectives, uh, in an organization, the individual objectives should be in par with the organizational objectives. Now, to make clear that sentence, an employee, say for example, an employee is like pretty much attracted towards salary. All right. On the other hand, organizations might be expecting work efficiency and later on maybe the salary or say income, right? Now, if both the say organization and the employee has to prosper, right, these objectives should not be conflicting and it should be in par with each other. So if there is a proper direction technique or say there's a proper guidance to the employee, both the objectives, that is from the organizational view and from the employee's view, the proper object or these objectives can be attained. So it should be in such a way that the employee should be convinced that, see, if you do your work efficiently, the organization will be able to do better. In that way, you may get a salary hike or you may not get a salary hike. See, it all depends on the employee's inputs. Able to understand? So that is what you mean by harmony of objectives. Next is unity of command. So like we mentioned in the second chapter, that is your principles of management, we were saying talking about unity of command, right? So under unity of command, what did we say? We were saying that each subordinate should receive orders or instructions only from one head or from one superior, and if at all he receives from more than one person, it's difficult to do his work, right? The same thing we will be follow the same principle of direction. Unity of command comes under direction, so it's a very important factor here. So every employee should receive orders only from one person so that it's easy for him to understand and do his work properly. When there is like conflicting ideas or say conflicting instructions, it will be very difficult for him to follow and obey the instructions as well. The next is appropriateness of direction technique. It should be, now according to this principle of direction, it should be more of motivational and leadership techniques. So it's not just giving them guidance and instructions. It should be in such a way that it should be motivational. It should motivate the people, and they should also be given a chance of leadership at times. This helps them to motivate themselves even more in order to achieve organizational objectives and do their task efficiently. Next is managerial communication. So when we talk about managerial communication, it means that there should be a proper flow of communication and there shouldn't be any kind of overflow and there shouldn't be any miscommunication. That is what they actually mean by that. So if there is a proper communication, that is if there is a proper flow of instructions or guidance or say motivation, and if there is a communication vice versa, meaning it's not just that the communication should happen from the superior to the subordinate, timely communication should happen from the other side as well, that is from the subordinate to the superior. So if this is happening, there will be a proper feedback and there will be proper ideas and different kind of instructions. So even the employees also will be able to give their feedback regarding each and every instructions, or maybe come up with better ideas to do particular works. So that is what they mean by managerial communication. It should be done in such an effective way that communication flow should be proper on both the sides. That is the superior should be able to manage their communication properly. There should be proper communication from the side of the superiors, as well as employees also should be motivated to communicate to their superiors. Then use of informal organization. So informal organization will actually exist in every kind of formal organization. So when we say formal organization, it's not just that they're stringent and they are not supposed to kind of say maintain any kind of personal relationships. No, that is not what they mean. So when there are such kind of informal groups in an organization, people will join say groups, or say they might form personal relationships. So in order to say identify such informal organizations, or say once they identify such organizations or say groups, they need to understand and they need to influence them in such a way that it will form a proper formal flow of communication as well. All right. Then comes leadership. There should be proper leadership. So leadership is again a very important element of direction. So if there is no proper leadership, influencing the employees or say guiding the employees will be a pretty difficult task. So there should be proper leadership from the hands of the superiors. Then follow through is majorly like taking up follow up actions. That is say just to check if the employees are right on track. They need to keep the employees activities on check, so that they'll understand, they can keep in track and keep a record of how the employees are performing, each employee is performing. If they're able to understand of a particular say instruction, if they're following it correctly, are they doing it to their maximum, or do they need to improve themselves, or is there anything wrong, any discrepancies? All these follow up actions are required, and that has to be done by the managers. So these are the major say principles of direction. So class, this is the topic for today. Let us continue with tomorrow. Please complete the task which has been allotted with this. Thank you.